Hey everyone, my name is Sean, and in today's video I'm going to be doing a recap of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel livestream hosted by Konami earlier today at TGS 2021. This was a very fun livestream. I really enjoyed it. I think there's been quite a bit of a lukewarm response to it by the community, but I found this to be a very fun stream to watch, and I would love to hear what your opinions are down in the comments down below. Are you excited for Master Duel still? Have you been turned off of it? We'd love to hear your opinions down below. So the first thing we got to see in this live stream was Konami's new esports studio, and for those who don't know, Konami is heavily focusing on esports right now. They opened up a school last year to train people in esports and teach them how to become content creators, and so now they're definitely showing that eFootball and Yu-Gi-Oh! Is going to be a massive focus of their esports culture right now, and this is their esports studio. And have a look at it, where they're going to be hosting tournaments and doing commentary from their studio in Tokyo. So really nice. For me personally, as someone who's followed Yu-Gi-Oh! For many years now, it is so nice to see Konami put the spotlight on this game rather than it just be something they make or farm out to other companies. They actually focus on the game so much, and hopefully it will stand up in quality to establish electronic card games like Hearthstone or Magic the Arena. Love that, absolutely love that. There were 4 parts to this presentation, and the first thing was a recap of what is Master Duel for those who don't know. This game will be released on every modern SKU of video game platforms, and also the previous SKUs as well, because a lot of people haven't got their hands on the modern SKUs, and it will also be on Steam, iOS and Android. But the focus of this game, despite it being on a lot of diverse consoles, is that it will be towards a 4K resolution, which says to me that they really want this game to be a platform as opposed to being a single release like Legacy of the Duelist, Link Evolution and prior Konami games like Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championships. It looks like they're going to have this game running as a live service for as long as they possibly can, and incentivizing you to participate through gems and rewards and weekly content like a gacha game such as Duel Links. This will be focused also towards events like the Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championships, and they're looking to have this in people's hands long before then, so that people can get themselves ready for the 2022 championship events. Now, the first thing that was announced in today that was new news was the release date, quote unquote. They very vaguely said that this game will be coming out in winter of this year, and by that, what they are really saying to you, if you don't get it, is that this game will not be coming out in 2021, but maybe most likely early 2022. This didn't surprise me, is what I predicted in my previous Master Duel videos, because Konami has a history of when they release their games, and as someone that's been a fan of them for years, they normally release a game like this in February, roughly towards the end of February, not really early on, because if you're going to release a game for the December period, for the holidays, you're going to give a release date so people save up their money for it. No one likes to release games in January really, because no one has any money to spend. They just had Christmas, and so February is the first part, like the earliest possible point before the end of the fiscal year that they can release the game, so that people get their hands on it and have a chance to buy it. So I'm thinking February 2022 is when we're going to see this game, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be a beta or so at least before then, so keep your eyes open a little bit more on the channel if you want to find out more information towards that. The next thing they showed off was their solo mode, and man, oh man, I was so happy with this. I didn't know about this. It had been leaked before because they had showed it on the floor at TGS for press, and so people were already reporting on this, but to see this in action, I was so hype and happy with this. And the reason why I was happy with this, because a lot of people I spoke to were concerned that they're going to be not having a solo mode, and they're only going to have competitive play for people to play against each other. And Konami needs to understand that there are so many different players for this game. Some people really feel intimidated to go online with this game because they think they're going to get absolutely destroyed, and they just want to play against the AI and practice their own decks. That's absolutely fine. Now, I don't know necessarily, well, there will be a mode where you can go into free play and play against the computer, but what there will be is the opportunity to choose decks and learn a little bit about how to play those decks. So on this screen here, you've got the top deck, which is the World Legacy archetype, the middle one, which is looking at Gem Knights, and the bottom one, which was looking at Cleafort, which is what the guy who's playing here chose to play. And this was really nice to see. The thing that made me so happy and had me the hypest with this is that they are showing off that they are going to show the story of the cards. And man, I'm so happy that they're doing this. As someone who's been a fan of this game for a long time, there is lore to the cards through their artwork. Not from the anime or the show, like your Dark Magician and Blue Eyes, but the actual cards themselves. Certain archetypes have a story and they interact with each other. They go to battle, they go to war with one another. And seeing this being realized and actually put together in an official product is fantastic, because it's been left up to fan interpretation for a very long time. It reminds me a lot of a game like Dark Souls, the original one, where you'd find an item in a certain place and it'd be like, oh, this suggests that someone was from Astora. Well, now we're going to see how these work together, and in here you're seeing how the Shadows were holding back the battle between the evil swarms, whoops, I went ahead there, evil swarms and the Naturia beast, and they were trying to hold it down, but it almost became the end of days until the Klee were reactivated, hidden machines that are in the forms of trees from ancient times. And these, the way they did the artwork was really fantastic here. They didn't just show the artwork of the cards, but they made them animate, they made them move and glow in the right place. It made it really interesting. I think one of the guys who was commentating at this point said, "Oh, it's like watching an RPG," and that's exactly what it is. It's like reading through an RPG, and that was so much fun for me. I was popping off at this point when I was at work. I was really happy with this. So the solo mode is structured like this. It's kind of like an arcade mode for, say, like a fighting game where you go through level by level. And the first one is the scenario. Then you have the practice duel to learn a bit about the deck and its key combo or key style of play. And then you go for an actual duel, and then you end with the going to a goal and you get a reward. For clearing each stage, you get a bit of reward, and we can talk about a bit about currency now, because we can see that for playing this game, you're going to be able to earn gems. So this person got 50 gems for completing the first scenario, and gems will be used in this game towards the purchase of packs. So we now know that there will be microtransactions in the game, although that doesn't really surprise me because the game is going to be free to play. There is another currency at the top of the screen which we don't know anything about yet. As you can see, there are several zeros and each one is tied to an attribute. At the moment, I'm predicting that this will be a crafting system, so that you can maybe burn the cards that you don't want in order to get currency to buy cards that you do want. But that hasn't been formally announced yet, so we'll see a little bit more in the future. So the person who was playing went on to play the first tutorial, and as you can see here, it's teaching them about the Klee forts and the key card Apocalypse Fort Towers, and it's saying that use these 3 monsters in a pendulum summon in order to tribute summon out your towers. So the hand that he's getting is specific. Is they have 3,000 life points each, and now you just complete the action in order to attack the game and learn how this works. What I really like here is 2 things. Is one, on the left you can see the text of the card. That isn't always visible. You can hide the text if you want to, but I know on the PlayStation you can press, I think, the R2 button to hide the additional information that you're highlighting. And I also really like the final blow message that goes up and down the screen during the animation, which makes it a little bit more dynamic. I want to see what it's like when someone does a trap card during a final blow or a hand trap and maybe stops the attack, what that maybe will look like. Because I think they put a lot of care into their presentation of their game. Now, when he beat the duel, we see that he leveled up and gained experience. I don't know what the level up and the experience is for just yet. I'm going to guess that having leveling up and experience is going to reward you things with like cosmetic items maybe, like different duel avatars, or perhaps access to different modes. But we don't know just yet, but there is going to be a leveling system for your account. Moving on, we had, once you've done the basic tutorial, you then have to do a duel using a random hand instead of a constructed hand, and it's going to be a mirror match between the deck you're trying to learn. So, as you can see in this hand here, he's got different cards here, and he had to try and beat this challenge to go through. He summons Apocalypse Fort Towers there, and the animation of that looked really good. And I just also want to comment on the music. Wow, the music is so good. Brand new soundtrack, new music design done, and it sounds really great. It gets you into the mood of wanting to do a duel, which is nice. A nice addition for the presentation. Once he beat it, you get to see the end of the story and how that kind of wraps up. So we see the shadows here with towers in the background. We see Recliffate, the card art here, and they kind of made it animate by making the barrier go bigger and the machine start to vibrate, which was really nice. And then it ends, and you get some more gems for doing for going through this. Now there is more to the tutorial mode. Once you beat the basic duels, you can go into do some extra duels. We don't know what the content of those are, but it may be just like a harder challenge with the deck. Maybe instead of playing against a mirror match, maybe you'll play against like the Shadows or the Notoria or the Evil Swarms. We don't know what they are just yet, but there is extra ways to earn even more rewards by practicing the same deck. Then we got into a PvP duel, and this was absolutely hilarious, as the guy who was dueling on the bottom right, he had some very funny expressions, and I think we've all seen that expression before. That is the expression of a man who just bricked, and that wasn't the expression of just a man who just bricked. That is a man who just bricked in the first ever live stream duel of Master Duel. Man, I felt so bad for him, man. Oh god, I feel your pain, man. We've all been there. We've all know what it's like to get a bad tan and to be showcasing to the entire world. Oof, feels bad. But he was a good sport about it. He set one and passed, laughed it off, and we carried on in the game. And then I was almost going to rage quit on myself on the stream when I saw that our opponent here was playing nothing but bloody Mech Knight Invoke. Oh my god, this deck won't die. Please just go away. If you're anyone who plays Link Evolution right now, and also who maybe played in a game before, Mech Knight Invoke has been such a popular deck because of its ability to OTK and go second, and that was the plan here. He's activating Alice's effect to go and get Invocation. He does get stopped here. He was the face down card was infinite impermanence. He does negate Alistair here, but man, yeah, Invokes never dies. So, end of the duel here was really entertaining. You can see that they were playing on PCs here, which obviously makes sense because the game is still in development, so they won't be demonstrating on consoles just yet. But I'm very curious to see what the inputs are going to be like, and if this is going to have crossplay, how that's going to work. I'm very curious to see how this is going to work on iOS or Android, and if you're playing against someone on a console, what that would be like, because you're going to have a controller that handles it like a menu. You can use your mouse and keyboard, which can point anywhere. Then you've got touchscreen controls. How will that all work? I think that's definitely something that Konami will have to make sure they get right. So towards the end of the duel was really fun, and that was the main highlights of the presentation. So, what did you guys think? Did you enjoy it? I think the news so far was very exciting. I think a lot of people wanted to see a little bit more. I think people wanted to see more about the pricing structure as well, but I'm sure we'll see more news over the next couple of months up to the game's release. So thank you guys as always for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Feel free to comment as well. I would love to hear your opinions on what you think, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel.